Denise, guess what?
What, Abby?
We got chismes.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the episode of We Got Chisme. Happy Wednesday. Woo!
Hey man, it's Wednesday, not Monday.
Yes, I know. We're closer to Friday than Monday.
Hump day.
So, yeah, I know. So, as usual, I'm Denise, and this is Sabicito. And today's story, technically, it's a test for Sabicito, Xavier. And he's gonna be our lie detector. So he's gonna recognize what story out of 4 is the fake one. And everyone out there listening to this, of course, take your guesses. And then we will let you know at the end. So pay attention to every story. See if you can find any inconsistency, anything that lets you know it's fake.
Shall see.
Shall see. So story number 1. The title is Today I Fuck Up Paying for Sex. Like, I am not telling any subreddits here so nobody gets any hint. So we're going by the title. So it says, I paid a sex worker to sleep with my friend who was still a virgin at the age of 28. For the record, I had nothing... Huh?
This one is true.
For the record, I had nothing against my friend being a virgin at that age, but he was beginning to behave like an incel? Incel? It's I-N-C-E-L. How do you pronounce that? Incel? I don't even know what that means, but okay. He made it seem like women hated him, even though he never bothered to get to know any woman. I was getting sick of listening to him complain about almost being the 30-year-old virgin. So I joke about paying someone to sleep with him. He was laughing at first, but then he asked me enough questions afterwards to convince me that he might be interested in an arrangement like that. I decided to set it up for real. My friend reluctantly allowed me to share his contact information with the escort service as soon as I showed him pictures of the sex worker I selected. I did my part. A date was set. Payment was made. All my friend had to do was have sex. I received several sporadic calls from my friend throughout the evening that made me feel like I should never have done this. Call number 1. He wanted to know if it was a good idea to masturbate before the sex workers show up so he could last longer. I encouraged him to leave his dick alone and let the outcome be whatever it ends up being, come what may. My stupid compounds made him laugh and managed to relax him a little. Mission accomplished. Or so I thought. Call number 2. He wanted to know if he could send me a dick pic so I could tell him if his dick looked good enough. I say I did not want to see his dick. He promised his dick would be flaccid in the photo to make the whole thing less gay, in quotes. I said it was gonna be gay either way before repeating that I did not want to see his fucking dick. Call number 3. He wanted to apologize for sending me the dick pic anyway, but he also wanted feedback since he sent it. I told him to stop calling. I ignored calls 4 and 5, which prompted him to send me messages to please answer my phone. Now, call number 6. He said he was thinking of calling off the sex worker because his bed apparently had a huge dent in the middle, which was unsuitable for sex, in quotes. I suggested he flip the mattress on the other side or fuck on the couch, But to cancel sex because of a dent in the mattress that never bothered him before sound like an excuse to back out. Call number 7. He
No, at this
wanted
point, I
to
would turn off
know
my phone.
what?
At this time, I would turn off my phone. Figure it out.
He wanted to know what kind of food sex workers usually eat because he made spaghetti. I asked if he was asking me what kind of food people eat because sex workers were not a different species. He said most people he knew enjoy spaghetti. I asked if there was anything else he wanted to know because I wanted him to stop calling. He said the next time he called, it will be to debrief. Call number 8. He wanted me to know that he was spying on the sex worker through his bedroom window while she
Gotcha.
was talking to one of his neighbors outside. He said based on their body language, it was clear that the two of them knew each other. I asked if he was no longer a virgin. He said he struggled to get it up and subsequently gave up. And now he was watching the sex worker laughing about it with his neighbor. I say that's probably not what was happening. He said he was thinking of going out there and confronting them. I advised him against it, but he hung up. Call number 9. The call came from me this time. No answer. Call number 10. I call again a few minutes later. My friend finally answered the phone and said the sex worker left in an Uber when he eventually made it outside with the intention of inserting himself in the conversation. He said that he asked his neighbor how he knew the woman who just left in the Uber, and the neighbor said that he was one of her first clients. According to the neighbor, he was going through a divorce at the time, after spending years in a sexless marriage. So the first thing he did to fix that was to fuck a 20-year-old body. My friend asked me if I was willing to pay for his therapy too because not only did he fucking fail at fucking, but now his fucking neighbor knew they fuck the same sex worker. I say I was just trying to help. My friend thanked me, albeit a little sarcastically, and say goodbye. I think he's ghosting me now.
Um, from a guy to another guy, I see that happening.
From what?
I believe this one is true because something similar happens to me with a friend of mine.
I'm curious now.
I will not tell. Sorry.
God, like somebody else. Did you pay someone to have sex?
Well, sort of. It wasn't sex sets, but yeah, we make a transaction trying to help a friend get laid, and
Did it work for your friend? Not like
no,
this one? No? Oh my God. So it's a
that's
prank.
what I'm saying. Like it sounds so freaking like a deja vu.
So it's a pressure maybe. They feel too
Yeah,
much pressure with
but
taking
it,
it to it.
yeah, but that's an, it was the same thing. Calling for each one the thing. I'm like, dude, leave me the fuck alone. Like it's either this or that, one or the other. It's not in between. You overthinking. Just sit your ass down, wait for her to arrive. When she's at the door, just open the fucking door, and happens what it needs to happen. And nothing happened. They
Yep.
spent all night talking. She had a nice meal, cup of wine, and
He had
then
a date.
she was like, "Okay, my time is up. Bye." And I'm like, "I need a reimbursement."
You need to tell me after this what friend. I have an idea. We'll see.
Okay. But I'm telling you, like, I see this happening
So
for
you
real.
think it's real?
So I do think it's real. Just
Okay.
because of a similar experience that I have with a friend of mine. That's all.
Okay.
A
Got
little, yeah, yeah, yeah.
it. um. Okay. Do you wanna see comments or you just wanna keep going with the stories to not spoil it?
We can see the comments to see what other people think. I will be
Okay.
intrigued.
Top comment is I lost it at trying to feed someone spaghetti before sex.
It's true. But again, when somebody's nervous first time, they definitely will do that.
The next comment says his palms are sweaty, dick is weak, Arms are heavy. He did not know what people eat, made spaghetti. Little poem. Oh my god, somebody make another poem. And they're like, he opened his pants, but a hard dick won't come out. She's not choking now, no dick to choke on now. The clock's run out, his time's up, but no blow. Snaps back to his bedroom. OP, there she goes talking. I did not get that. Not okay. Talking to his neighbor. OP looks like he fucked her too. He choked her. Homeboy is so mad, but he does give up. He does give up that easy. Yeah, he will not lose it tonight. I don't know what this is. Is this a rap or something?
It does not rhyme too well, by the way, but sure.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, I mean, somebody else comment, I can see why your homie has a struggle with relations. And then Opie comments, I should have learned my lesson when I invited him to a singles night. The objective was straightforward. A group of single people gather somewhere and get to know one another. I will admit I generally have no game with girls, but I at least attempted to step out of my comfort zone and communicate with the people I was attracted to at the event. My friend, on the other hand, watched everyone from a distance while messily eating the biggest club sandwich I've ever seen in my life. Like he could ration the shit during an apocalypse. Needless to say, no one approached him.
yep, this is so true. In there.
Let's move on to story number 2.
Just clarify, I did not wrote this story.
Are you
Something
sure?
similar has happened to me. It's just mainly coincidence. But just to clarify, there is a bunch of guys out there that are quite it seems like females carry them.
Mm,
Um yeah, and I don't know what's the deal with that, but
not everybody can be as confident.
it's not confident.
It
It's
is
just
confidence. You have a lack of confidence in yourself if you cannot
oh yeah,
just,
yeah, yes. Yeah,
at least as a guy.
he
I,
actually
I
does have like a low self-esteem.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
right.
There you go. You have low
Yeah.
self-esteem. You don't feel that you're handsome. You don't feel like, you can
Yeah.
approach.
And you're trying to pump them up, like, yes, you got this, boy, you got this. And you think like you're doing something great. And then you feel like at the moment, like to just have it in front of you and just like beat the shit out of it with the stupidity that comes out. A 13-year-old will behave better. But again, like you say, it's the lack of confidence. So the virgin, ¿cómo se dice? Uh, to the florist, the flower mission was a failure.
To the
So let's
flower, the guy was a fail.
yeah, to the flower, the guy was a failure. So let's move on to story number 2 now. Let's see if then if was true or it was fake.
Okay. Story number 2. The title is I hate my sorry. I hate my obese coworker. It's
Okay,
I hate my obese coworker.
okay. I guess she doesn't like fatties, but
The title makes me sound like a jerk, but hear me out. The
let's.
past few months have been absolute chaos at my workplace. I have been working in a small office building for a state company for 6 months, but half of it has been the absolute worst. Back in November, my coworker, 28 female, Nina, came out to us as bi when we went out for drinks. No problem. Glad she is comfortable in her skin and feels safe with us. Her best friends also work with us, so I assume that she just came out to the rest of us since we were already there. She also asked for woman's advice since he wanted to tell her husband. I I was not sure why she would tell him she was into other people, but I guess honesty is the best policy. Come Monday, and she arrived absolutely wrecked. Her eyes were puffy from crying, her hair was completely wrecked, her clothes were the same as 3 days ago. She also kind of stank, and it took everything in me not to gag. I later learned that through the grapevine that her husband did not take it well, and he decided to move out.
You think?
After after 10 years together, the thought of his wife being with other people must have been too much for him. I felt bad for Nina, I really did. Our team leader, who's one of Nina's best friend, ended up redistributing the workload so Nina will not have to do anything since she was not doing any of her tasks anyways. I was a bit annoyed, but the team leader promised that it was just for the week. Fast forward to February, and guess what? We're still doing Nina's work for her. What's extra frustrating is that Nina managed to get herself on disability accommodations during the 3 months she's been slacking. Her excuse: she's depressed and physically disabled. While wallowing in her potential divorce, which is actually kind of happening as I heard from the grapevine, she turned to food and gained a lot of weight. She had not been skinny to begin with, but the extra weight ballooned her so much, I will not be surprised to see her in my 600-pound life. Like they say that she gained about 150 pounds. Sorry, that was in parentheses.
Oh, I was like, damn, girl, like 600?
Yeah, she's like, I wouldn't be surprised to see her on my 600-pound life. She's even one of those motorized. Oh, she's even on one of those motorized wheelchairs. For the past few months since her separation, people have been complaining about their lunches getting stolen. We all suspect it's Nina, but no one can prove it. The final straw was when management gifted us some free muffins to meet our goals. There are two different lunch periods. I'm on the second one, and Nina gets to leave as part of her accommodations right after the first one. We were all excited to eat our delicious muffins during lunch period, but we were all horrified to see that nothing was left when we arrived at the break room. 4 dozen muffins were provided to 36
How
employees.
many?
4 dozen muffins were provided for 36 employees, like one each plus extra.
Yeah,
And
it was like,
only half the employees, 18, had the first lunch period. That means that either 18 employees took more than their fair share, 1 and 2/3 on average, or someone stole 30 muffins all for herself. We were furious, and so was management. Management may not care when low-key employees get their lunches stolen, but they sure as hell care when they're footing the bill for something for someone to pick out. The management have some mistakes in this for once. They went through security footage to see if the cameras caught up anything. Sure enough, Nina rolled her way into the break room after
oh,
the last first lunch employee left and came out carrying the remaining 3 boxes. Admittedly, I was somewhat impressed. She was sure strong enough for someone of her size. Further footage showed her rolling her way to the elevator, down to the parking lot, and to the car, where she packed everything in her trunk. I expected her to get fired or something, but Nina's bestie team leader vouched for her and promised to pay back management on her behalf. This infuriated me, and I immediately marched down to HR and told them what was happening with Nina. Her bestie team leader and the load of work being unfairly assigned to the rest of the team. I could not resist complaining about dealing with the fallout of a coworker wanting to cheat on her husband with a woman, which made HR extra unhappy because Nina was essentially to blame for everything that's happened here. I think Nina is about to get fired because she and her friends have been packing up her desk, and her friends have been giving me mean looks. Like, talk about a hostile work environment. I ended up going back to HR to complain about that as well. Right before Nina left the building for the day, she confronted me for being a biphobic, fatphobic, lazy bitch. Oh, that's what she said. She's a bi and obese hater.
so
Me,
wait,
biphobic and fatphobic? It's not my fault she wanted to stray from her husband and pick out on muffins. She brought this all on herself.
so
Biphobic and obese phobic. Okay. So you see, if the title didn't let her, she was like, oh, the title makes me look bad, but let me explain this. Like, she's been doing her job, and I mean, everybody, and she's been getting her lunch stolen. I will get really mad if somebody steals my lunch.
I would have put some like lap scent on one of my lunches.
Laxatives.
And whoever gets stuck in the bathroom, that's just the rover.
You
Period.
know that I read a story once about a guy who put like really spicy food in that container, and then this person had like a really bad reaction, and then HR called them because they were poisoning that apparently for them, and they were like, that had my name, it was my container, and I can eat it in front of you and tell you that I eat that spice. It's not my fault. So yeah, it can happen. Shit can happen like that. HR can call you for telling you're poisoning someone for protecting your own lunch.
Oh, shoot. Oh, I would just put a lot very spicy food then, like jalapeno, cutting very pieces. But to be honest with you, so far, I don't know with this one. This one sounds kind of real, but at the same time, sounds like
Okay. You don't have to decide immediately. I can keep reading and you decide after.
okay, okay.
Okay. Uh, so some comments. The top comment says, "Not the asshole. Stealing muffins from only half of the workers is horrible. At least steal from them all for equality. Splitting the muffin halfers from the muffin have-nots is some borderline personality shit."
Okay. Let's
Somebody
continue.
else says, "Thank God she's not autistic too, or you will have had the hat trick of hate."
But thinking like that, she's an asshole because why are you stealing
Shit.
people's food? So whether this is real or fake, she's a bitch.
Yeah, shit really is. I'll be really, really mad. Okay, story number 3.
Okay. So
The
I don't have to say
title.
if it's true or false now.
Huh? No,
I
you
don't.
don't have to. You can choose at the end which one is true.
Okay.
Story number 3. The title is, "Am I the jerk for screaming at my new neighbor after she hosed down my 6-year-old daughter?" So I, 30 female, have a 6-year-old daughter. My kid is super quiet, and her absolute favorite thing to do is draw with chalk in our driveway. She never goes near the property line. Last week, a new neighbor moved in next door. This neighbor seems to hate noise and kids. Yesterday, my daughter was drawing a big rainbow on our driveway. The neighbor marched over and told me that my kid needs to stop using chalk right away because the chalk dust is floating over and ruining the paint job on her new car. I told the neighbor that is impossible. Her car is parked way over on the other side, and my daughter is just playing in her own space. The neighbor rolled her eyes and stomped off. I thought that was the end of it. Today, I was sitting on the porch watching my kid draw. Suddenly, the neighbor comes out with the garden hose. Without a single word, she points it directly at our driveway and turns it on full blast. The water completely washed away my daughter's drawing and it soaked her shoes and pants. My kid started crying immediately. I saw her, I ran over and screamed at the neighbor. The neighbor just smirked and said she was cleaning the dust off her property, and if my daughter got in the way, that is my fault for not controlling my kid. I called the neighbor an entitled bully and told her to stay away from my family or I will call the police. The neighbor retreated, but later she posted on our neighborhood Facebook group saying that I am a hysterical neighbor who lets my kid vandalize the street. Some neighbors who were not there are taking her side because the neighbor played the victim so well. My husband thinks I should have handled it calmly to keep the peace since the neighbor is new. But you've got to understand, my kid was soaked and crying. So, am I the jerk for screaming at her?
I mean, they're just gonna characterize you as a Karen. That's all. But
Who do you think is a Karen?
I mean, the one that yell. That's what the new neighbor, is gonna think of, since he already posted. He's posting her like, okay, look at this Karen. Like, look at this BS, and I'm just new here in the neighborhood. Um, but I actually do see this happening.
Wild.
Huh?
It's very wild that someone
Yeah,
will
but like,
turn on a
okay,
house
I
towards a
know.
kid.
So before I moved here to Florida, I heard this type of story. I was like, come on, like really? But after I moved here, the stuff that I seen, I'm like, and mind you, I live in a very quiet and peaceful neighborhood. Like, you don't hear a soul, but sometimes From here, there's stuff happening. You get to know. You hear everything. I know. And
Things
sometimes,
like this, like somebody will just open a house and direct
well,
it at
usually
someone
somebody
because
will,
they're there.
like for instance, like 2 weekends ago, a neighbor was like cleaning out like his car. So apparently, we have new neighbors moving in because it's being more kids, like like between 7 to 10, 10ish. So the kids are running around in the neighborhood in the bikes and stuff like that. But this one it was different because the kids asked them like for the person just to wire them out. So that's different. But like doing it on purpose, no. But you
And
know,
that was just a game. This is the kid is playing, minding their own business, and then you go and do that. How does a truck dust bother you? How does it get in your brand new car? It's just junk.
is what I'm saying is not the fact, but the fact that people are psychotic enough to do that type of things. I do believe. And if that story is real, probably it was written by a Floridian.
I don't know. Let's read some comments and see. Top comment says, I know that this may sound extreme, but you definitely should file a police report at the very minimum to have documentation. It may seem like overkill, but that reaction from your neighbor was absolutely not normal. Also, sit down right now and write out a timeline of the events with absolutely no emotion attached. Date and time of as many things as you can remember. Neighbor say this, I say this. Neighbor did this action, neighbor walk away, etc. Then take that and also post it in your group or whatever the heck is going on, whatever the heck she's doing this, and tag her in it. Flat out make sure that people know exactly what is going on and that you want to give her an accurate and detailed description of what occurred. Whatever you do, do not escalate emotionally or call her names or do any of that. That will be just fitting into her narrative. From here, as others have suggested, make sure you're getting cameras all around your property. And then OP says, this is actually really helpful. I was so upset that I did not even think about police report, but you're right. Spraying a child with a hose is definitely not normal. I'm going to order some cameras tonight and start writing that timeline now while it's fresh. I hate the drama, but I have to protect my kid. Thanks for this. Yeah, that's crazy. And everybody's telling her that, like, I would have called my child into the house and then called the police. It was your driveway.
I'm thinking whether this is true or false. Hopefully.
Somebody says next time you see the neighbor, get your hose, spray her from head to toes, and say that you were worried that she has some chalk dust on her.
Fair, fair enough. That's fair enough. Because
That is fair enough. Okay, are you ready to move on to story number 4?
I don't know what's real, what's not, but sure, go ahead.
Okay, you can decide at the end. And just for the record, I do not think that she was the asshole, but I will definitely put cameras around. She's gonna misbehave again. She's gonna do something again, and then you can prove it.
Yeah, because once it's happening, especially, when people move to a new neighborhood, when they are new neighbors, they're trying to be on their best behavior. If this
Exactly.
is now that just move in, imagine later when they feel comfortable.
So put cameras and
Set up
record
your
everything.
boundaries.
Mm-hmm. That's all you can do. Yeah. And so story number 4, the title is My Classmate Died and Her Mother Turned Me into a Replacement for Her Daughter. I need to tell this story somewhere because it shaped years of my life. School was already traumatic for me. My homeroom teacher humiliated me for years. I struggled with depression and anxiety. I just wanted to graduate and disappear from that environment. There was a girl in my class, I will call her Shayla. She could be strange and even cruel. She would sometimes hit people as a joke and laugh. But she also called me constantly, hours on the phone, even when I did not want to talk. Before final exams, she told me that if she didn't get into medical school, she might kill herself because her mother had spent so much money on tutors. Sometimes she said seriously, sometimes she laughed. I did not. After exams, she called me excited. Since she got the very high scores, I congratulated her. A few days later, I received a call telling me she had jumped off a building because she actually got very low scores. I did not believe it at first. I thought it was a cruel joke. A few days later, her mother called me at night and said, "Tell me honestly, I will not report you. Did you push my daughter? Did you kill her?" I was shaking. I kept saying no. I was just a teenager, but it did not stop from there. Her mother became attached to me in a way that felt suffocating. At the memorial, she cried and said her daughter loved me. Then she told me she had once warned her daughter not to be friends with me because I was not on her level, in quotes. She compared our looks and said her daughter was more beautiful. My own mother started visiting her weekly and sometimes sent me alone. I did not want to go. No one listened. For 3 years, I was pulled into her grave. She said she felt better when I was around. She said she could smell her daughter when I was near. She asked me if I ever had a daughter, I should name her Shayla. My mother agreed casually, and I felt horror. She once took me to another city to visit her family for Shayla. I cried at night and wanted to go home. She would show up near my house and call me to calm down. During COVID, she hid from the police outside just to see me. I felt trapped, guilty, responsible, angry, confused. I lost 3 years of my youth trying to carry someone else's grief. No one protected me, not my parents, not my sisters. No one seemed to see how much this was hurting me. Eventually, during COVID, I slowly cut contact. I stopped answering calls. I made excuses. I finally escaped. For a long time, I felt sorry for her. Now I feel anger. I feel like I was used as a replacement for someone who died. I was just a teenager and I learned something the hardest way possible. Someone else's pain is not yours to carry. And that's the end.
Hate you. Read comments, please. Because I also see this happening in real life.
The comment says, "Oh my god, that is worse. I'm really sorry, dear. Hope you finish school, cut ties, and leave immediately." And then Opie says, "Thank you so much. I actually finished school years ago and eventually cut ties with her. It took time, but I'm no longer in that situation." And then someone else asks, "Why would anyone think you push her?" And then Opie says her mother refused to believe that her daughter had taken her own life. She blamed not only me, but all classmates and even teachers. Everyone around her became responsible in her eyes, and I was just one of many targets of her grief and anger.
She doesn't blame herself by putting in the pressure on her daughter for being overstudying herself and trying to the point that she will kill herself if she have a low grade.
It's funny that you mentioned that because the next person asked, did she ever held herself accountable? And then Opie says, no, she never held herself accountable. She always blamed others, me, classmates, even teachers. She even said it was the evil eye and that everyone wanted to be like her daughter. I remember never seeing her take any responsibility. I spent years living in her house, almost in the role of her daughter, witnessing her obsession with status, money, and showing off to others. After her daughter's death, she even got plastic surgery to impress people. It was terrifying. Only recently, with a psychologist, I learned that none of this was my fault. I became emotionally dependent on her, and it was not within my control.
But that's sad though that her parents were not able to foresee this because come on, let's be honest. Somebody die, you see those parents, it's kind of like
Yeah, I
fix
know.
the point here.
I was
So
thinking the same thing.
just because of that, I have my suspicion on this one.
Okay.
But again, people are psychotic and people
True.
sometimes don't want to see what is in front of them.
I know. So, which one do you think is a fake one?
So can you tell me how many truth and fake there are?
There's one fake in between all the true ones.
And the rest are truth.
The rest are truth.
Okay. So we have the guy that
The
was modeled
virgin,
with flour, the prostitute. Um,
the girl that stole the muffins.
we got the fat elephant that stole everybody's food because she decided to be after 10 years of marriage. Um, Then we got the third one. What was the third one?
The neighbor that holds down the
The
kid.
neighbor with the housing in the kid. And then this one, the suffer from grief.
Yes.
I'm debating between the second and the fourth. Am I cold? Am I hot?
I'm not telling you anything. And everybody out there also think, what do you think it is? Which one you think it is? And say it before Savi says anything. Choose one. Don't get.
Because honestly, the second one, the fat crazy chick, that sounds like a little suspicious. Because I know that people might do that, but come on, like showing just in black from overnight like that, like not holding yourself together and just getting so many way and stealing stuff from work when you know there is camera in place.
Depression is a thing.
Huh?
Depression is a thing.
I know
People
inflation
gain
is
a lot of
thing.
weight.
No,
People
that's
change
completely
overnight.
understandable. But like into getting to that stage that you don't respect the people around you, which I know it can also lead to that, to not care about others, think about you, or not care for others, just for yourself, and just you just dwelling in your own sorrow, uh, can be a thing from depression.
True.
It's just the way that the narrative went down. This is a potentially fake one.
Okay. And why do
All
you
my
think number
thoughts.
four is fake?
Huh?
And
And
why
I
do you
put the
think
number four because of the way that, like, come on, you telling me that you have a parents and the parents are going to allow you to go to another city with somebody who child died to revisit their freaking relatives, and that you cry and girl, why didn't you say you don't want to go? Why didn't you say what's going on? Like you don't feel comfortable with your parents, you know?
yeah,
So and on top of that, let's be honest. When we are kids, I know that we feel bad from adults. Sometimes this stuff happening, but at the end of the day, you're still being a kid, you know. Um,
I mean, she does say, she says, I was shaking, I kept saying no.
exactly. So meaning like she's still a kid at the end of the day.
She was a kid,
But
yeah.
but the fact is like the parent will allow that I will allow if I have a child, my child to go with a
Oh,
grieving person to
true.
visit their family relative, people that I never met in my life. I'm
Yeah, I
sorry.
will never.
You ain't going nowhere. So
Nope.
just because of that fact, I'm more inclined to story number four. Because if this parent did this to allow this child to like, no. The third one, I do believe it. Because like I'm telling you, I've seen very weird people.
Crazy things in Florida.
Yes. So and it must be a Floridian story. I can guarantee you, if it's true, it comes from Florida. For real. The
Okay.
first one, like I said before, I literally relate a lot because of a friend of mine.
Okay.
So that, for me, that might be truth. And and yes, people, I know like three male persons that's still virgin and they above 30 years old. So for those of you who think like male just want to be fuck boys and stuff like that, unfortunately not. There is a lot of fragile guys out there.
I think that if they could be fuckboys, they will do it. They just
I know
cannot.
they just can't.
It's either low self-esteem that we talk or just looks.
Or they're just waiting for the right one.
I don't know. I never met a guy that just wants to wait for the right one.
I have.
No way.
Yeah. One waiting for the right one, the other one too shy, and the other one low esteem.
Okay. Well, respects for the one that is waiting for the right one.
Yeah, he better get soon because
You better get someone that is actually worth it.
he's getting above his mid thirties already, so very heavy up.
He'll be fine. He'll meet his soulmate anytime.
And
Hopefully.
you have your other life. So
So,
I'm deciding for story number
four. Story number four. Sabi made his choice. What about everyone out there? What do you think? Tell me. Do you think it's one? Do you think it's two? Do you think it's three? Do you think it's four? Just decide and think. Ooh. So, The big reveal. I hope everyone decide.
Hold on. But before you say the big reveal, was I cold or was I hot?
I'm not saying. I'm just telling you which one. He just flipped me off for those who are not watching the video. So the fake one is number two.
I knew it,
I know you were so close.
bitch. It's like,
He
who
was
the fuck will
so
steal like a three
close.
freaking boxes of things? The depression part is,
I
I believe that
know.
part, but like the stealing that thing in that the husband leaves her overnight and never, and she turns like the same way that she left home on Friday. It's like, but again, the last one, like allowing the child to go, I'm like, what the fuck?
You know there is bad parents out there.
I know, but like I wouldn't. Well, that's true.
There is really bad parents out there, okay? Parents that do not care about their kids. Or that care about other people more than their kids. So they are people pleasers. They were just trying to people please this other woman and let their kid
Happening
do.
honestly. Now that you mentioned that, I have
Yeah,
some.
I just didn't want to say anything because I was gonna.
Yeah, but honestly, it's like, damn.
Okay, just so you know, the first story comes from the subreddit TIFU today, fucked up. The second story, which is a fake one, this is why I didn't want to read the subreddits, come from the subreddit Am I the Angel, which it can be stories that are like actually real, but they also post fiction in here. So this was one, basically this is called a shit post, which was fake. Yeah, like a shit post. And I think someone said in the comment, I just couldn't read you that one. It's a freaking post or something like that. And I said, bye, obese coworker. I hear someone calling my name. And then other people are like, you're so wonderfully skinny though. You're skinny if you turn sideways and no one knows you're even there. So all of these comments were like making it know that it was fake. Well, I was not gonna say anything. And then the third one came
Tell
from
me,
Am I
say
the
from
Jerk?
Florida.
Huh?
Tell me, say something that's come from Florida.
I don't see anything. I can try and check her
No, I would not
subreddit.
make you to go through that, but I'm telling you, like, it sounds so much like a Florida vibe.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what are we talking about? The third
The
one?
third,
Oh, the Am
with
I the
the
Jerk?
the one with the host the child, the water host the child, I should say.
She only has two more posts. The first one is like, what food has a long-lasting aftertaste? Asking for it. But she doesn't say anything about Florida.
Oh, okay. No, well, now you know a little bit more about Florida people. People. No, I
No,
would not make
I'm
you to.
trying to read around, but I don't see anything. If I ever find it, I can just tell you later. Or you can check it if you
I
want.
would check it. Yeah, the
Okay.
curiosity is killing me.
And story number four comes from Off My Chest. Like it was Person Dios
Yeah,
venting.
definitely that one, and the second one and the first one I would have guessed just by the subreddit because I'm familiar with those. But the third one, I'm like, I mean, the second one, I'm like,
The second one, I made the angel. Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm not telling you any subreddits.
damn, I was so
You
close.
were so close. I was like, am I hot or am I cold? And I was just like, I'm not telling you because otherwise you're gonna gravitate towards one. And I was trying to keep a poker face and make all the drama for all of them.
Well, but that was a good one though. But yeah, that's why when you told the first one, I was not surprised. So I'm like, yeah, this is real, and I see this happening for sure. The second one,
I really thought you were gonna go for the first one or the third one.
and I didn't go for none of those.
For none of those. So I'm guessing Florida has changed you.
Yeah,
Yep.
sadly, because like you say, you move to other places, you experience different things, and you observe new neighbors who and very different characteristic on people's character.
Yeah, I figure.
Yeah. And the third one was for the fourth one, the kids should have called in social worker on the parents.
Yeah. Those are really, really fucked up parents.
But they was really good. I really enjoyed the suspense that you input for us. So well
Good.
done.
Thank
So
you
clap
so
to the
much.
knees. So
Yay!
apparently my
I'm sorry.
coworkers now, I'm becoming old now, and apparently it is this thing like
Oh,
every time that is a meeting and somebody does like something nice, you see all the girls like, and I'm like,
wasn't like this before?
that's for that's mute applause. If you are mute,
Oh, okay.
how you
I remember
applause.
they used to do this in class when they say, "Hey kids, let's do like an applause on silence." Everybody will do this.
Silence applause for
Yeah,
the
but then what's this?
this is just something somebody started doing, thought that it was cute, and now all these ladies are like usually are the
Are you like smashing a bug, or are you saying like something is very small?
but they
Oh,
are applauding like with the long as nail.
like I said, the crystal generation, the Gen Z.
Not even because the people doing this, even I have this coworker who she feel identified with the youngest one, and she's like
How old is she?
I don't know, but she's older than me, like around there after the mid 40s, more or
Mm.
less. Not that old either, but closest to her 50 than
You
her
better don't
45.
say old, mid 40s, because Mama is gonna kill you.
I know. Sorry, Norma. I know you. We all getting old, Mama. Don't worry. We
We're
all.
all getting old.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
But I
31.
hope
Oh
you're
my
not be doing. I hope you're not been doing the. Your daughter probably is doing the. Yes.
god.
So
Ask Jaisa. Maybe she also likes
no,
that.
that's what I'm saying. Guys is probably doing it. So yeah,
6'7", 6'7".
like that nonsense too. Like I saw a video and I'm like, what the fuck is it saying? So I have to Google it. I'm like, it's a and Google says like, it is a nonsense that teenagers do in random restaurant with the order 6 7 comes up, and they even banned those
But
numbers.
it is like something is mid is 6'7".
Yes, but they say they banned the number 6 7 for a lot of restaurant just for not having people coming over and disturb the environment of the restaurant. I mean, that
Wow.
usually was for fast food, but still, they create such an bizarre environment.
I saw a video of a toddler. I think it was a toddler that learned the 6'7", and then there was like an image of Jesus, okay, and he had the hands like this, how he usually does, and then they asked the kid, "What is Jesus doing in that picture?" And they're like, "He's doing 6'7". Yeah, so they're even using that. They're like they're confusing this kid. I think I went one time to like a Gen Z site, and I was like, I wanted to learn how to talk to them, and I texted Jaisa, and I think she was like, "Oh my god, I have to see if I find it." And then she was like, "What are you talking about?" She hates when people say 6'7". That's not cool, bro.
No, because those are usually the kids that don't have a parents and they just go to this fast food restaurant. You remember when we used to leave high school and go to McDonald's just to hang around?
Yes, I remember those days.
So pretty much this is these kids doing the same crap, but just like invading like a fast food restaurant just to do this nonsense. And like,
Yep.
what number are we at? What number of order? Oh, 6 7 hasn't
Oh
come.
my god, do you remember when Charlie was on? Remember, Charlie, Charlie, are you there? And how
Oh,
many people were going to like the drive-through of McDonald's and KFC, and they'd be like, Charlie, Charlie, are you there? Just asking these people.
if I were to work in that McDonald's, I would put like a speaker, and every time that I see somebody, it's like, "What you want?" I can put in like very scary like things and like, "Yes, I'm here."
Yes, I'm
That would
here.
scare the shit out of people. That would be hilarious. But yeah, so new
This
generation,
new generation, yeah.
new hobbies or imaginations or new threats. I would say
New language, even like
yes, new languages.
I found it. Like I told Jason, no cap, you are a 6'7" unk. Cause I read it, I have no idea. I think it meant like not gonna lie, you are me, the old guy or something like that. It's say, and she was like, also, she's like, what? And then also, how my unc? You are the millennial body, not me. She called me so old like that. I just started laughing. I was like, okay,
I feel
I'm sorry, bro.
I feel offended by you.
I'm sorry, bro.
Oh yeah, the bra is for everything. Even if you're a girl, what's a bra?
What's up, bro?
Instead of say like what's up, Brad? It's changing us up, but whatever.
We also had our thing during our
Yeah,
time.
back then of the day, we all had a thing, and I'm sure the people older than us used to see
Like,
those
loser.
how we seen this new generation now. So it's the same thing in every generation, to be honest with you. So
Yeah, it's the loser, the talk to my hand. Oh my God, en español había una que decía, piérdete en el, no, píntate de verde y piérdete en el bosque. Do you remember that?
what the fuck do you used to say that?
Yeah, there was a thing like, I was not in high school, I was in elementary school, and people used to say like, paint yourself green and go get
And like,
lost in the forest, I guess.
yeah, because nobody's gonna see you. So very much like, bye, we ignoring you.
Bye-bye. Yeah, exactly. It was something like that, but it was back in the day.
Yeah, that
Anyway,
didn't hit the arc when I
yeah,
was there. So
I hope everyone had fun and let me know what you guess in the comments, please.
you
I'm
guys are
very,
right,
very
you
curious.
guys are wrong.
Yes. And if you like it, please give us an extra like or a comment and we can do more episodes like this because I really had fun. We can invite someone else. Maybe we can invite Carla next time or we can invite Adam back. Clapping. Savi is clapping in silence for those of you who are listening only.
That's not silence clapping. It's the fingers clapping.
The fingers clapping in
That's mean
silence.
demure.
The Demure. What are the reactions? Clapping.
Stephanie's trying to come to update, but whatever. Denise take a long time to update her brain, but it's fine. She's already smart enough.
Thank you.
At least let her believe that. Thank you guys again.
Thumbs down for you, mister.
Thank you guys again for watching it. And like Denise say, trying to set up the number, whether you hit up the right story or not. It's whatever. It was fun. But then I was close as hell. But anyhow, so let us know in the comment, and let us know if you would like to hear some stories like this. Because honestly, they all were very close together, and they all have like a red flag about something strange. Except that say the first one that was like very vivid, actually. Um, yeah, very similar. But yeah, just send us a comment, send a like, keep repost, or just share it to somebody, at least to hear the first story for one of those friends, the Steel version. And like, hey, if I do this for you, please don't do this shit to me. Like,
Yeah.
I will not be calling you. I will turn off my phone.
They're gonna send you a dick pic, but don't worry, it's flaccid.
Don't do that. Don't never do that. Thanks God, my friend never has to send me that, because I would be like, my boy, no. Be like,
No.
I don't need to see your miseries between your legs. But yeah, see you next time, next Wednesday, and we're gonna bring you another hot episode of We Got Chisme. Until next time, enjoy the rest of the
Bye.
week, and it's almost Friday. Hang in there.